Hey, good morning, folks. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. And lots of weather to get to, so let's go. Still, like the Energizer Bunny, still snowing around the Traverse City to Gaylord region and in the southwest corner, mostly along the shoreline. That breaks down this morning, both those areas. And then another system heads our way, and it will be a 2 to 4 inch snow along the shoreline and a 1 inch snow inland. So here's your radar forecast. And it will show you that next, brief storm system on the way. It's weak. If we did not have Lake Michigan, it would be a 1 or 2 inch snow anywhere. So this is this afternoon. If you have to travel, this afternoon is pretty good for you, depending on where you are at. If you're in the areas that have gotten hit by heavy lake effect snow, then you'll still have snowy roads. This is 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. So in the late evening and middle of the night, western third of lower Michigan will have most of the snow, and that snow shower activity will break off and head to Ann Arbor, Detroit, Flint, Saginaw Bay City, Midland. Much lighter and more sporadic in nature than on the west side of the state. Let's go to midday tomorrow. Still scattered snow showers around. And let's go into tomorrow afternoon. And sometimes you see in places, it just doesn't end. Eric, Shigren, Friday night, Saturday, snow in A2. Won't be light fluffy, 3 inches. It should be light and fluffy. And yeah, I was going to start to highlight that. Looks like a 2 to 4 inch snow. So Thursday really looks pretty quiet after the snow showers wind down. How much snowfall? Well, there you see it. If we carry it on through, it's a 1 inch snow from Grand Rapids eastward. And it's a 2 to 4 inch snow in those 1 or 2 counties all the way up the shoreline, from the southwest corner up through Muskegon, up through Ludington, Manistee, Frankfort, Leelanau County, up to Petoskey, and into the UP. It's 2 to 4 inch snow, mostly overnight tonight, what we call a lake-enhanced snow. All right, things gonna get interesting, and I've been warning you on this. It's just the pattern where we have all the ingredients. We have the cold air, and we have the active storm track. So at some point, we get clocked with both. Not in this forecast, really, but we do get clocked with the cold air. So this is a Saturday. See the polar vortex up to the north, dipping southward. This is Sunday, and this is Monday. There's your deep part of the polar vortex over Hudson Bay, circulating around the Arctic air. And we go into late next week, and you'll notice the cold air backs off just a touch because the storm track starts coming at us. So, if I stop at this at something like Monday, January 27th, that could be a very interesting pattern with some winter weather. As you got cold close, and you got a southwesterly flow with embedded storms. And so last 2 weeks of January, probably first 2 weeks of February, going to be very wintry around here, folks. Hey, good morning, Vassar. So here's a little closer look at the surface pattern. Here's your snow swinging through tonight and tomorrow morning, really, is what it is. Go back to southwesterly flow. We go above the freezing mark slightly on Friday. Helps the roads. And then here's what we're talking about for Ann Arbor and Detroit in the southeast part on Saturday morning. There's a storm down to the south with moisture. That moisture is sneaking up as the Arctic front sneaks in from the northwest, and the two latch on, and about the southeastern third, southeastern half can get a quick swipe of a steady snow, probably 6 hours or so on very early Saturday morning into Saturday morning. And then this is Saturday afternoon, and it sweeps on, and the Arctic front blasts on through all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And then we get into the heavy lake effect. If the wind conditions are just right, some spots will get into very heavy lake effect, as we're going down to about minus 30 Celsius at 5,000 feet up. We're still going to call Lake Michigan temperature probably better lower to about +3, but there's some spots that are still hanging on to 40 degrees. So we probably better go +4 Celsius. So we're going to have a 34-degree temperature difference. And that is really close to the biggest temperature difference I've ever seen from the lake surface to aloft. It doesn't mean that that's the heaviest lake effect snow we ever get, because the air has to be moist enough. It can't be bone dry air for really heavy lake effect snow. Now we're into the following week, and you just see the snow continuing. And I showed you the upper air pattern evolving to a southwest stormy track. This would be way out there, and just for fun, it starts to show that if we do get indeed into that southwesterly track, there will be several full-fledged statewide snowstorms heading our way, maybe 6 to 10 inches, something like that. One thing about this pattern is we probably can't get a mega snow unless some sort of blocking feature happens off the East Coast or up by Greenland, because that blocking feature would spit a storm out of the southwestern U.S., come at us, and it would stop it. And then you'd be talking something that we could remember for quite some time. There's your Saturday morning. So if you're planning on traveling Saturday, here's middle of the night, Friday night. This is Saturday. This is 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Saturday. And then this is 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Arctic front coming through, and then we go to the pure lake effect. Hey, good morning, Danderson West, checking in from Garland, Texas. It's cold out there, and you ain't seen nothing yet, baby, because the cold air for next week is making it down into Texas, too. Okay, snowfall. This, I showed you the 2 to 4 incher tonight on the coastline. This is the Saturday, Friday night, Saturday morning expectation. Maybe a swath of 2 to 4 inches, and that would eventually be wind driven. It could change nature from being a little bit sticky at first to being an Arctic flake that blows around after that. Hey, heck, let's just have some fun and run it out into next week. The European model isn't really great at lake effect, but it shows through next Wednesday the heaviest areas. I'd probably double that in the lake effect, and hey, let's have fun. Why not? We can take this with a grain of salt, but this runs it out quite a ways. And you see pretty snowy pattern in the west and in the UP. All right, now we got to look at the ugly stuff. We got to look at the temperatures. So today we make it into the 20s. Tomorrow we make it toward the freezing mark. Friday we make it probably over freezing by a couple degrees. A lot of 34, 35s, 36s. Saturday still mild in the southeast until the Arctic front. You can see the Arctic front starting to take hold in the UP, even down to Traverse City. The Arctic front has blasted through by Sunday, and we are talking teens in the south, single digits, and only high temperatures below zero, western part of the UP. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the coldest days we've had in a while. Monday, highs in the single digits. Tuesday, a lot of places in the single digits. Wednesday, back to the 20s. Now, let's look at the low temperature forecast. And again, let's go to Monday. We should be 0 to 5 to 10 below. Tuesday morning looks like it's the coldest. I would call it 5 to 15 below zero across lower Michigan. And then western UP could be 20 below. And then Wednesday back to single digits. No real let up in sight. You know, we can warm up to lows in the teens to 20 at time. And, 10 days out, this is kind of suspect. But it shows another Arctic blast of air, which is certainly plausible if you're only at January 29th. And especially if we are getting storm systems to come by. Because as they move to the east, they will pull that cold air down once again. There you have it, folks. We've got some winter weather. Some of you are going to love it. Some of you are going to not love it. And we're going to have to take some precautions. We're going to need some safety measures. If you're doing some traveling, we're going to do our best on MLive to keep you updated on the time frames. This is a time of year where some people try to sneak out and go somewhere warmer. And so we will try to keep you updated on that. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great day. Take care.